you might have to share. I'll explain. Just give one to every second person. Elisheva. Would you like to just take one? People that want, you don't have to. I know some people like to. I don't like to. So I beg your indulgence. This is going to take a little bit of time, maybe 15 minutes. First of all, apologies for changing the date so many times, as I explained to some people. I want this to be, I feel I don't make Siyum very often, I've been doing it for 30 years. And I don't know really when I finish because it's Daf Yomi and it's 4 cycles. And it's all about Shas, so the theme of the evening is 6. Okay? And so I started learning a shiur with Rabbi Yossi Gordon. It was soon taken over by Rabbi Kraziansky. So Baruch Hashem, I finished 4 times, but I don't know exactly when I started. So I've for sure finished, like Rabbi Kraziansky tells me that he's finished 4 times, and I started a bit before him. So that was the whole problem, that there was a suffix. So I had to, if there's a suffix, you have to ask a psak, and it said, could you move the date, and is it really fall out on that date? And I actually probably finished a few masechtot ago, but the problem with Daf Yomi, particularly the start, you're at such a pace you actually don't know what's flying. So I actually didn't know what was going on for the first 2 masechtot, or 3. Okay. So the theme is Shas, okay, and Shas is 60 plus 300. Which is 1 plus 5 times, it's 6 times 60, which is ribui. So people know Maharal, right? Ribui is the 10, okay? So this is actually about, and the Magen David is 6, and this is a Simcha Shel Mitzvah, and that's Sas Anochi Al Imratecha, and Sas is like Shesh, especially if you know Nakudas, you can swap the Nakudas around, right? And Shin and Shin is 600. Okay. And David, Maleh, right, is 24. So if you've done just 4 times, it's about time to make a Siyum, particularly if it was David. The Maharal also explains that it's 6 dimensions, so it's up, down, left, right, and everything else, with the Nakuda, the Yud Hashem in the middle. So I better start with the text, because otherwise I'll forget them and then I'll really be in trouble. So first of all, thank you on behalf of Ilan and myself, for everyone for making the effort and coming tonight, even after my changing the date so many times. And also, Hodu Lashem Ki Tov Ki L'Olam Chasdo, Hodu Lashem Ki Tov Ki L'Olam Chasdo, Hodu Lashem Ki Tov Ki L'Olam Chasdo. So all of you for participating, Ilana for giving up your tropical holiday in Yeppoon to be here. Avi has closed the door, so I'll tell him afterwards, and Bracha and Sofit for organising the catering. Everyone else, sorry that my Israeli children were taping this for them, and grandchildren could not be here. Noam is out busy earning his parnasah, which is also good. Other thank yous I'll probably try and go through, and particularly to the Magidei Shiur. The first Magid Shiur that I had was Rabbi Gordon, but then for at least 1 cycle. I think I finished the cycle with Rabbi Kraziansky, at least. And I've been remiss. This is actually doing tshuva, because it's before, it's almost Elul, for all of the times that I should have said thank you, even if not properly in public, but at least in an acknowledgement. The same to Kobe Kingdom, and I did a whole cycle from Psakim to Psakim with Kobe, and he's still asking why I'm not coming. And you'll find out why. That's the thank yous, I think. So I've been very fortunate, and also thank you to my parents for giving me an education. And also, Ilana 35 years ago made it's actually Parshat, it's Bahashgacha, right? But this is Parshat Akev. So even though I moved it around, there are a few things to do with Akev, but also we're starting to move into Re'eh. Re'eh was my roof. So 35 years ago, my wife made a condition. She didn't want to marry an Amma Aretz. She wanted a Talmid Chacham. So she made a condition that I would learn in college. So if I hadn't have done that, I have to thank her. And it's like Rabbi Akiva. Now Rabbi Akiva learned for 24 years, which is David, which is 4 times 6. I didn't make it through 24 years, but I've been learning Shas now for 30, but I did know Aleph beforehand, and I learned my kids. She also bought me a Shas. She also bought me another Shas, and she also schlepped it home, but I don't think she realised what she did when she helped me schlep it home.
Did she answer the question that customs honestly do?
The last communal Seder, Siyum, sorry, I was zocher to have 3 generations there. My father went and then he started reading Daf Yomi with Yumi's Shur at Mizrahi. I also had my son of Remy, and we start a new cycle, although it's in the middle of the cycle. We should be zocher to, with my father and mother should be zocher to finish their cycle with Siyum in good health. Okay. So that's the thank yous. If I've forgotten anyone, let me know. Keep me under the table. So Akev, Motzei Shabbat, right? It actually was the bar mitzvah of Akev's bar mitzvah of Yaakov. That's why I named him Yaakov. Actually, it's after Elana's late father. And the other one I forgot is everyone's here. Everyone's here for different reasons. Some of you know, some of you don't know. So Moish Kimmelman, who I'm not allowed to call rabbi or anything like that, I let shkalim with him at least once. So that was Yerushalmi, and he had actually a perush, and then I asked him the second time and he couldn't find it. But we did enjoy, I enjoyed anyway, I learned a huge amount even from that. And the first Masechet I was meant to finish was with David Solomon, which is a long time ago, it's more than 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's, again, it's good to have David here. And I knew so little about Gemara then, he wanted to do Makot. I didn't know why I wanted to do Makot. I thought, very interesting. We started Edim Zopamim and all of that sort of stuff. Right, so it was short, right? Did we ever finish it? I don't know, David.
Well, we came close.
We came close, okay. Okay, Akev also says, Rashi says, that Akev is Elu Mitzvot Kalot Shadam Dash Bahem. Okay? Dash is Rashi Shevot for David Shas. So, and then he explains what is it? It's like Simchat HaRegel. Right? People don't take Simchat HaRegel as a serious mitzvah, but you should be careful with it. And the same I haven't been until now. I admit when you do tshuva, you have to admit your faults. Is I didn't make a siyum on. You get very complacent, believe it or not, in doing daf yomi. You do another one. You just have to keep going, and you don't make a siyum. You don't make a hoda'ah or anything like that. I learned from my grandchildren. When Dobby had such a big simcha that he made a siyum when he finished learning Nekudas. And it's not that I'm Zalzel the Nekudas, because there were actually incredible things even in Rashi and everywhere else which you learn just from Nekudas. So thank you, Dobby and Kibi and all my grandchildren for making me realise the importance of doing a siyum and being able to thank Hashem and my family and also those that helped me learn. The other thing I probably should say is one of the reasons maybe why I didn't make the siyum is you've got to be careful that you don't suddenly say, I finished Masechet, I finished Shas, I finished all of this. And then I learned in this week's Parasha, Akev, Kochi Ba'otzim Yadi. So you're allowed to say Kochi Ba'otzim Yadi. You're allowed to say that, but you have to say Hashem gave me these powers. So you're actually thanking Hashem for giving you the powers. You can actually not take for granted all of these things, but you have to thank Hashem for giving us the powers to learn. Okay. The Ramban on Akev says that it's things that are acharit kol davar is Akev, the end of things, right? Rosh is always the head, and Akev is the finish, so it's actually the finish, the sof. The other one that Rashi says is kol mitzvah im itchilta b'mitzvah gmorota, so it's talking about Moshe Rabbeinu not burying Yosef, and that. So again, this is a sof, and I should be thankful for actually finishing a Seder. Okay. So the other thing is, Bezrat Hashem, I have an important occasion on Vav Elul, is my birthday. And if you do the gematria of Vav Elul, right, Vav is the 2 Vavs, Vav Elul, right, so that's 6 and 6. and then 2 lameds is 60, so that's 3 lots of 6s plus, even the 10s you count them, 4 lots, that's 4 times finishing Shas, and there's 1 left over. Okay. And Bezran Hashem, during this week, it'll be my 35th wedding anniversary, that's Chapei, so if you take the 1... Lamed Hay.
Doesn't matter, it works anyway.
From Elul...
We'll make it work.
Okay.
That's what happens whenever they do the budget.
So I think I've finished all of those. Okay. So, because I didn't know when I'd finished Shas or started, I thought again, because it's 60 and everything else, and it should be 6 times 6, I should actually make it 6, so you need to add 2 more things to it. So I started learning Mishnayos. So, and if you're learning Mishnayos also, I wanted to also learn Yerushalmi. So, Bezrat Hashem, this is a 3, a Meshulash, and Meshulash is also very important because Moshe Rabbeinu was Meshulash. Levi is the third, he was the third born of Levi, the 3rd tribe. So I finished Baruch Hashem, Yerushalmi, Mishnayot, and Shas. And Bavli, up until Baba Batra, which is the start and finish for me, even the thing. So that's 6 times 6, and that's why I haven't been coming to Yeshiva, because I really have only got 15 or 20 minutes to learn Bavli, or half an hour, and we're very fortunate that we either have Magidei Shiur, or we have I've learned with Rabbi Steinsaltz, I've learned with Rabbi MP3 over the times, Rabbi Grossman, all sorts of people have helped me, and now there's Rabbi Portal Hadaf, and you can choose one, it's a very good one. It usually takes 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes a long one, 30 minutes, which gives me enough time to then learn Yerushalmi okay. So on the sheet, okay, I'll start with this is why it's actually a bit complicated in making Siyum and why it's going to take a few more minutes. How long have I taken now? Okay. So, Uktzin is the last of Mishnayot, and it's actually the last Mishnah is not to do with Uktzin at all, it's just a nice, very ending sort of thing. But the other one it talks about beforehand, Yud Aleph, is about Tvash. It's all about Taharot, which is very difficult for us because we don't, even though we're Kohanim, we don't have any mitzvot, we don't actually understand what Taharot is about, because we don't have it as a reality. Uktzin is also Kates, right? Oketz is the Kates, it's either the beginning of the fruit or the end. And Ketz HaMeguleh is the Ikved de Mashiach, which going to connect to the Ikved, but that's just by the side. So the other thing is the Chalot Tvash is, if you look at a thing, what's a honeycomb made of? It's made of hexagons, which is also 6-sided. Okay. So we'll go to those that have got the daf and want to actually look at it. 12. Amar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Atir HaKadosh Baruch Hu להנחיל לכל צדיק וצדיק 310 עולמות, שנאמר, להנחיל אוהבי יש, ואוצרותיהם המלא, אמר רבי שמעון בן חלף, שלא מצא הקדוש ברוך הוא, כלי מחזיק ברכה לישראל אלא השלום, שנאמר, השם, Adonai עוז לעמו ייתן, Adonai יברך את עמו בשלום. So a beautiful bracha at the end of finishing Mishnayot, people that want it in English, Hashem said that in the future will give every tzaddik 310 worlds, and brings a pasuk about Ohavei Yesh. Yesh, the gematria of Yesh is 310, and I will fill up your the treasures. And Hashem didn't find anything to give bracha. The best thing to give a bracha is with shalom. Okay. The other thing is that the learning of Mishnayot is Le'ulu im nishmat my late Chevuta Shai Tzur Hashem Yikom Damam, who I learned with in Yeshiva, and he was killed in Lebanon more before we got married. His photo's there, that's why I put that there. And his name was Shai, which is Yesh, right? So again, there's really nice things about Drashot, which probably won't go into the whole thing about what the whole idea of Yesh is. If you double Yesh, right, it's 620, which is 613 plus 7, and the 7 is Drabanans, a whole lot of Drabanans that are actually Ikar Drabanans, and we only get the schar of half of it because we need Siyata D'Shmaya. Hashem gets half of the reward, and we take half of the reward, the 310. The Yesh is also Lanchil Yesh. Yesh is the Metziut, it's this world, right? all of the world, that Hashem gives us this world as well as Olam Haba. That's part of the idea of the bracha of the end of Uktzin, that you have Hashem gives us a portion of the world, the Olamot. So that's Nishlama Masechet Uktzin, V'chulu Masechet Aharot, V'nishmara Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. So over the page, this is really complicated because Yerushalmi is missing a whole lot of stuff. I'm not the Baki on Yerushalmi. We have Bakis here. I will thank publicly, maybe I'll, Rabbi Gabriel Bechhofer, that's 20 years ago I think, Bechhofer. I hear Bechhofer. Gabriel is now in Bechhofer. He was in Chicago, gave a shiur, and he's put all of the shiurim in English online. So I was listening partly to those, plus there's a very nice edition called Yedid Nefesh. Have you seen Yedid Nefesh? It's like a Steinsaltz. And that's what Ilana helped bring me in the suitcase, all the volumes that we bought in Israel. In fact, a real bargain because, you can imagine in Israel, it's 400 shekels for the whole of Shas. Okay. But the problem is, where does Yerushalmi end, right? It's in Nida, right? And the last of the Gemarot is in Perek Daled, Halacha Aleph. But then it goes on and has a few more halachot, which are just Mishnayot at the end. So I don't know where the Siyum of just Yerushalmi is and what you actually do. So we might just do one thing on Gemara and then the last Mishnah that's there. I'm sure there's other stuff there, but it was lost to us. I think at one stage there was only one copy of Yerushalmi surviving in the world. I think and everything's copied from that one because the book were okay. So the Mishnah Halacha Aleph, not kutim nidot na'arisotem v'kotim etamim mishkav tafron ke'elyon mipnei she'en פועלות נידות והן יושבות על כל דם ודם ואין חייבים עליהם על ביאת מקדש ואין שורפים עליהם את התרומה מפני שתרומתם ספק. So this is the whole problem of safek, which I had with my whole Siyum anyway, and it's a biological thing. I am not the one that understands biology in the family. We've got enough doctors, my father, my brother, my daughter, they can all deal with different types of blood. But the problem here is that when you make a kula becomes a humra or a humra becomes a kula, that's really the problem here of why kutim mixed things up and we don't rely on them in terms of, again, it's to do with tarot. Okay? And the Gemara says, Dam nida zahum, dam betulim eno zahum, dam nida adom, dam betulim eno adom, dam nida min hamakor, dam betulim eno min hamakor, ella min hatzad. So again, the same with a woman, right? There are different sources of blood that are treated differently for Tumah and Tahara. So that's really the last of the Gemara. And then the Mishnah, I'll keep printing them anyway, Halacha Zayin, Matnitin kol echad asar b'chezkat tara yashva ala v'lo bakar shtagad na'emsa mizira v'lo bakar reik mitzvot Torah. So this is a woman that hasn't checked whether she's nida or not, and she's dealing with truma, right, or other things which in the time of the Beit HaMikdash they used to eat for Tara. So she doesn't know the stuff that she did retroactively, what is the status. הגיע שת וסתה ולא בקע הרי זה טמאה. רבי מאיר אומר אם הייתה במחלה הגיע שת וסתה לא בקע הרי זה טהורה שחרדם על חזקת עמים אבל ימי הזב והערבה שומרות ושומרת יום כנגדום הרי אלו בחזקת טומאה. So again, this is the whole idea is that again a biological thing that when a woman's in a state of stress, right, does she have a...
Sorry David, where was that last week? We're on the sheet.
Halacha Zayin, it's page...
Oh, Halacha Zayin, right, I've gone over the page. Okay. Sorry, thanks.
Okay. So, do we have a chazakah of Tumah or Tara? And the agreement is if they're in a stressful situation, being chased and hiding in a cave, then they've got a chazakah, but they're for Horah. Okay? So, with that, I think that finishes either way. So it leaves us Bavli, which lots of people know about. Okay, so the whole problem here is guarantors. When you go to weddings, people ask you to become a guarantor. It's a financial issue. Are you really taking this whole idea seriously, or are you just doing it for the keyboard of doing it? I read the Beit Din Hu, the Lo Ba'ei Kinyan. So if you're a Beit Din, right, we say that you don't need a kinyan, you don't need, again, a kinyan is a gemara dart, is that you've actually taken it seriously. The hilchata arev b'shat matan me'ot lo ba'ei kinyan. So again, the question is, when did you become the guarantor? Did you sign above the line or below the line? In other words, did you read the whole thing? Is it part of the whole nusach, or did you actually sign it at the very end just to sign it because they asked you to sign it? Arev de beit din lo ba'ei kinyan. But if you're in a case of a beit din, you're being mechuber, you're saying you're an important person, right? We trust you, and that should be good enough. You don't actually need a kinyan because you're doing it for the people. You've actually taken account and taken seriously that you'll fulfil the obligation. Because a guarantor, they can come and take from you if the loan is defaulted. So what are you going to claim? Oh, I just did him as a favour. So did you take it seriously in terms of actually being a guarantor for a default on a loan? Arev beit din lo ba'ei kinyan debahayin hana'ad neheman le gemar u'mishtabed le hadran alech kepashut eslika le masechet baba batra. Okay. Now the other one, it is actually connected to today's stuff. I think is this the one? Yeah, because Kol Yisrael Arabim Zeh Lazeh. Did you get to that? So it's actually I think at the very end. Okay. So it says one of the things is Kol Yisrael Arabim Zeh Lazeh. We're all actually guarantors for each other, which is a beautiful thing for a siyum, where it's not something as an individual. It's actually for a club. Okay. Yes, no. I thought to connect this also to Vav Elul, that and the idea of a siyum is that the guarantor, right, is when we actually have to give a din when before a beit din, right? And when's the beit din? Is Rosh Hashanah, right? And the Torah, right, is arev. Right, we say it's arev, but it's also it's beautiful, but it's also arev. And the Torah doesn't really need kinyan. The whole idea is how do you acquire Torah? So the idea of kinyan and arev goes to Torah, and Kol Yisrael Arabim Zeh Lazeh. So I think that's enough indulgence for me. So what I've also got then is the Hadran, which I'll review out. This is relatively quick. So the Hadran, right, is on this sheet, but because I'm doing it, I was asked actually, I was worried whether you do chabilot, whether you actually mix stuff together, but you can do one because it's probably two because it's Sigura as well. But it's all one thing, it's Shas. So Hadran alecha mishnayot masechet uktzim v'seret harot v'shita shirei Mishnah Yerushalmi masechet nida v'talmud Yerushalmi Bavli masechet Bava Batra v'talmud Bavli arba pamim. Hadran ala mishnayot masechet uktzim v'seret harot v'shita shirei Mishnah Yerushalmi masechet nida v'talmud Yerushalmi Bavli masechet Bava Batra v'talmud Bavli arba pamim v'lo nishtane minach mishnayot masechet uktzim v'seret harot v'shita shirei Mishnah Yerushalmi masechet nida v'talmud Yerushalmi Bavli masechet Bava Batra v'talmud Bavli arba pamim lo ba'alma hadin v'lo ba'alma da'ati. Is that okay? Let's do it 3 times. Hadran alach mishnayot masechet uktzim v'seret harot v'shita shirei Mishnah Yerushalmi masechet nida v'talmud Yerushalmi Bavli masechet Bava Batra v'talmud Bavli arba pamim. Hadran alach mishnayot masechet uktzim v'seret harot v'shita shirei Mishnah Yerushalmi masechet nida v'talmud Yerushalmi Bavli masechet Bava Batra v'talmud Bavli arba pamim lo nishtane minach mishnayot masechet uktzim v'seret harot v'shita shirei Mishnah Yerushalmi masechet nida v'talmud Yerushalmi Bavli masechet Bava Batra v'talmud Bavli arba pamim lo ba'alma dehem v'lo ba'alma da'ati. last time. Hadron alach mishnayot masechet uktzin v'seret ha'arot v'shita sivei mishnah yishami v'sechni v'chamu shami b'amdi v'asechet v'bat v'tar v'udbab li arba pamim hadron alach mishnayot masechet uktzin v'seret ha'arot v'shita sivei mishnah yishami v'sechet nida v'tam shami v'tam v'sechet v'bat v'tam v'udbab li arba pamim lo nishtam lena mishnayot masechet uktzin v'seret ha'arot v'shita sivei mishnah Yerushalmi masechet nida v'talmud Yerushalmi b'amdi masechet v'bat v'talmud v'udbab li arba pamim lo ba'alma hadin v'lo ba'alma da'ati v'ratzon מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו שתורת אמונתנו לעולם הזה עמנו לעולם הבא חנינה בפאפה ובפאפה נחמן בפאפה אחי בפאפה אבא מרי בפאפה רחם בפאפה דרכי בפאפה סורך בפאפה עדה בפאפה דרו בפאפה הלב נא אדוני אלוהינו ותרמי תורתך בפינו ובהיות עמך בישראל ונהיה